Hi everybody, Saul Sunforge here for Dungeons and Taverns. We're going to go ahead and continue with the Dirty 20. Today is Asgrim's session, continuation of the battle for Rivenheart. We're going to see here what Asgrim can do to finish off these undead, or if the undead forces are able to prevail. So far, it's looking like the Asgrim's forces are probably going to prevail, but there is a little bit of a cost already. There's still other maps to be discovered though, so we'll see how he does. Right now he's with a few NPCs that he's befriended and have sided with him. And so he's decently protected. However, he is quite hurt right now on the battlefield. And he is encountering this scenario's BBEG on the map he is currently on. So we'll see what he does, and hopefully it's a good session. Hopefully you all enjoy it, and hopefully he doesn't die. All right. See you in a little bit. All right. So we're concluding here at the or excuse me, we're resuming here at the top of the round, and so I just rolled to see what everything happened with all the other combatants, and then we'll go ahead and continue on with your individual battle. All right, so it looks.
I'm just surprised those two never even made it to the tower, since that was where they were originally going.
Yeah. The fight hasn't gone on long enough actually, but yeah, I've been advancing them up the hill, but yeah, that's a large hill. But so so the dwarves down here on the left, they were able to dispatch one of their vampire foes that they were fighting against. However, the other one has been used that time to uh, go towards the orc encampment. Those dwarves are rather fine though. They're not hurt terribly bad. However, the elves on the other side have sustained a few casualties. One of the dwarves who was recently freed, though, from his combat was able to go over and take up a melee position versus his foe, and the elves were able to retreat on that side. On your side of the battlefield, however, other than the elf casualties suffered by the soothsayer, the elves are doing rather good over there. It's the dwarves who are mostly suffering over there at the hands of the vampire incursion. However, you're all doing well enough that your forces are actually starting to turn the tide of this individual encounter. Elsewhere, the fighting that's going on, I'm keeping track of what's happening. So whenever you move on to the next map, I have to update the scenario as it plays out. All right, so first up is Vampire. All right, let me get everybody's character sheets up and on the same page. The vampire, he is going to, after he has thrown the sentinel captain out of the tree, is going to miss down, and he is. Let's see, it's a 30. It's 30. 20, 30 feet. He's like, yeah, exactly. All right, so he's gonna miss down in front of her, and as she landed on her feet, she is not prone. So he doesn't get advantage on his attacks, but he is going to make two claw attacks at her. The first one is glancing, and the second one hits. And then he gets to go for a bite. And the bite also hits. Oh, jeez. What a way to start out. All right. All right. So there's the glancing. That's 3. The normal hit. So that's 11 total so far. There's the bite. It's 19. And then the necrotic. Oh wow, it could have been way worse. That's that's pretty decent. All right. And then oh yeah, the vampire gains them. Okay. All right. So Reyna, after being thrown from the tree and then grappled and bit and scraped up, raked with claws, she's looking rather bloody. She has blood just pouring out of wounds from her side, her running down the length of her arm, just dripping onto the forest floor below, and she looks pretty bad. All right, so that's his turn. The next one to go is the one over near Rory. And I believe this is the round where Rory gets to act again, too. Let me see. I think that I put... Oh, no. This is the last round of his recovery.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So, the vampire over there, seeing an easy target, such as Rory, a non-combatant, who is also resting, he's going to go ahead and make his 2 attacks against Rory with advantage. All right, the first one's a 27 and a 14. The 14 doesn't hit, so he doesn't get a chance for a bite, but the 27 hits. For 7 points of damage to Rory. Not bad at all. Alrighty, that is his turn. Diogi is going to go now, and seeing that he is rather wounded, he only has one person left that he is fighting. However, he's going to make 2 of his great sword attacks against the vampire that he's fighting, and if only one of them is needed to kill the enemy, then he is going to use his movement to move towards the back of the ghoul swarm, who's still trying to climb out of the pit. I think that's what he'll do. No. He swings his greatsword twice, and both of his swings miss. The first one misses worse than the second one. However, he has so much blood loss, blood in his eyes and all in his fur, and he's messed up, and he needs critical assistance. He was not able to strike his enemy. The ghoul swarm is going to Well, they have to continue climbing out. Let's see, what is their... Okay. All right.
Yeah.
So
Okay, thank
the
you.
the remainder of the ghoul swarm that hasn't perished in the pit itself is able to make their way out of this dirt that you've buried them in, this pit that's been taken away, uh, and so they are able to make their way out. But they don't have any movement speed after that, and so that is their turn. See, I don't think she would run either. No. All right. So Reina is going to she is going to try to wheel around. She's going to take an attack of opportunity, but she's going to try to wheel around to a different position amongst the trees, and she is going to try to hide behind one of the trees from her enemy.
And that just corrupted my plan. Oh, fuck that.
What was your plan?
Well, one, heal her and then move towards Rory, but
Yeah.
she couldn't know that, so.
Well,
that's fine.
yeah, she wouldn't know that. All right. Well, let me roll. Let me roll for her to hide. And then let me roll for the observation.
Hey, Tro.
All right. All right, it is your turn.
That's the fire damage on the ghouls.
Y- Yeah, they definitely, yeah, they were still on fire for that last round. Yep. So 50.
Yeah.
All right. You're able to thin the swarm down to now where they actually are just individual combatants. So let me get rid of the swarm. I'll give all the I'll give them the swarms initiative, or I could roll them all initiatives again.
Yeah, just give him the 19
All
to
right.
make it easy.
All right. There we go. All right, so it's your turn. What would you like to do after the fire damage?
Drink a potion of regeneration.
All right.
And can I place a fireball so it hits both the vampire and the ghouls?
Yeah, you probably place it. Yeah, I bet you could probably hit two. I don't. Yeah, there you go, right there. Is that what you want, right there? You there?
Not the best roll, but
All right. Let me go ahead and roll their saves. What is it? What's the save with 19?
Yep.
All right. Here's for the ghouls. All the ghouls failed. And then the vampire. The vampire saved. The ghouls failed. The ghouls all take. How much was it? 28?
Yep.
All right. And with that fireball, you are able to sunder down the rest of that ghoul swarm. So they didn't even need to have initiatives. They're dead.
How much is regeneration?
Yeah, I was looking it up here. Let me see. Yeah, that's the one you made out of the troll blood.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So then you get 10 per round for 10 rounds.
Lovely.
I'll put it here in the blue bar. You have 9 rounds left. All right. Did you want to move or anything?
I'm actually gonna go up to him to prevent him from attacking anyone without taking an attack of opportunity.
Oh, and then if you take acid or fire damage while you're regenerating, then you don't regenerate that round. Just like
I know.
okay. And then if you die, you don't regenerate out of it, but you get advantage on your death saves.
Lovely.
All right. So what is it you said you wanted to do?
I moved already.
Okay. Alrighty. So the soothsayer, he is going to. He's going to try to hit the elf directly underneath him with a chilling grasp. And then we'll see what happens after that if he hits. All right, so what's the damage? All right, so the soothsayer is still hovering up in the air. He comes down and gives a chilling grasp to the elf below, who is trying to take shots into the air at him. And he freezes him into place and then gets behind him. All right. So after that happens to Rory, then that is the end of his turn. He's gonna stay perched there. He's gonna stay drinking Rory's blood as Rory's struggling to hang on to climb down the tree. Diogi is going to take his turn after missing with both of his greatsword attacks last round. He is going to take his attacks again, and he this time I shall not miss. He gets his first attack, his second attack, and he misses both of them after he says he's not going to miss. So that's 4 attacks that he's missed in a row. He's getting beat up pretty hard. He doesn't look like he's going to die now, but he could definitely die in a few seconds. Hint.
I know.
So he is going to. Oh, he can't even really afford to take an attack of opportunity against him. He is going to stay put. Oh god. Ghoul's gone, Ghoul's gone, Ghoul's gone. It's Reyna's turn. She is going to from her hidden position. She isn't able to see that Rory is being attacked on the opposite side of the tree by the vampire. So she is going to she sees you by yourself, so she's going to kind of wheel back around 10, 15, 25, 30, and she's going to stand right next to you. And she's going to kind of duck down. What do you want to do now, Asgrim?
I point to Rory and says, "Help him. I'm going for Diogi."
On it, and she makes her short bow attacks. She's able to see him now from that positioning, actually, when she wheeled around to you. Bless you.
Gesundheit!
Bless you. I knew the next one was coming. That's why I didn't start yet. All right, so she makes her 2 short bow attacks. The first one doesn't hit. However, the second one does hit. And you can hear she bends down as she fires the bow, and you can hear her whisper a prayer to Elune, and as she does that, she lets the arrow fly, and the arrow does hit and does 19 points of damage. 29 because the other one, 28 because that 9 is doubled. For 28 points of damage. The vampire, he recoils back and shrieks in pain as you see his flesh just catch alight with a bright a bright light catches him and it emanates from inside his body as the light expands inside his body, and then eventually it goes and condenses and explodes outwards. And when it does that, he is slain completely as he's bits and pieces of vampire are showered all over Rory as this creature was directly on top of it. So Rory now has viscera and mucus and blood all over him as he's climbing down this tree. And he just has a look of shock and horror. Somebody gets in his hair, in his mouth, in his eyes. But that vampire is now dead as he was overkilled by 8 points of damage. And he is not able to regenerate, or so he's not able to turn into mist form. He's done. And let me go ahead and mark him down. Alrighty. That is her turn. Your turn, Asgrim. As she looks at you and she says, well, I did my part. As she's bleeding everywhere and coughs up a bit of blood. A tooth comes out. Well,
so I am gonna transfer 20 of my health into Georgie, meaning he gets 40 back.
Yeah, it sure does. He sure is almost back to full health now because of your sacrifice. So you go over to him. How do you do it? You lay your hand on him?
I kind of like grab his shoulder and yell, "You got this! Pull yourself together, man!" Like my typical motivational insults.
Alrighty. So as you do that, a healing warmth flows over his body, and as you channel your life essence into him, you can see the wounds cauterize and closing, and the labored breath and the panting and the sweat, it all kind of stops and goes away, and you can see for the first time in this fight, really, he's actually has like a renewed sense of determination and aggression, and you just fueled him to continue the fight. And he looks back at you and says, "I will never forget your sacrifice you've made for me." And
I point at him with finger guns and go and cast True Strike as my bonus action.
Finger guns.
Yeah.
And the noise too. Alrighty. That actually works for True Strike pretty good. Okay.
I couldn't resist.
Wait a second. Doesn't True Strike give you your advantage on your attack against him?
No, it gives him attack on his advantage on his next attack. Oh no, I'm thinking of Guiding Strike.
Oh, okay, okay.
Guiding Light or Guiding Strike or whatever it's called.
Oh, okay.
I don't have that one. Damn. Oh, is it? Wait a second. Cat, it's not your treats. It was fucking raisins. You don't want them. Nope. Point your finger at a target in range. You magically grant the target a brief insight into the target's defense on...
Yeah, the target you point to, you get. So you know Dioge's defenses.
Yeah, okay. Then the other one, what is that one called? Is that called Guiding Strike? It's called.
I'm guessing you're not talking about the warrior's ability Commanding Strike.
No. There's literally a spell that gives. Gives someone else. That's why I remember it, because in the campaign I play with Troll,
Uh huh.
I am a cleric. So I've been using it there.
I see.
So got the characters mixed up.
Clerics have some pretty awesome spells.
Oh, I'm playing a protection domain cleric. He's broken as fuck.
Nice. I dream about the day I get to play again. It's gonna be a glorious time.
You know what? I'm gonna do dancing lights instead. Like do the finger guns and everything, and then it's dancing lights, and it goes on to the vampire. So that actually grants him advantage on all his attacks instead of just one.
All right, yeah, you create up to 4 torch-sized lights within range. You make them appear as torches, lanterns, or glowing orbs that hover in the air for the duration. You can also combine 4 lights into one glowing, vaguely humanoid form of medium size. Whichever form you choose, each light sheds dim light in a 10-foot radius. As a bonus action on your turn, you can move the lights up to 60 feet to a new spot within range. A light must be within 20 feet of another light created by this spell, and a light winks out if it exceeds the spell's range.
I'm just illuminating his target, you know. So
Yeah.
hit 4 dots around the vampire. So hit within this.
No, that's perfectly fine because it's almost time. It's all almost dark out like completely, so that's perfect. All right, so you cast dancing lights, and all 4 of these torch-sized illuminations appear around Dioge's target, and so Dioge will be able to better see him, and when you cast those lights to illuminate the area, you're able to see that the other soothsayer has actually started moving up towards your direction. The other soothsayer, however, who is currently engaged in trying to crack the elf's skull open like a walnut, is going to go ahead and proceed to do so. And so you can hear even from where you're at, even though it's on the opposite side of buildings and things like that, you can hear. You don't hear the skull crack open, so I won't describe it. But you hear the elf scream out in agony and pain. Ah! It stops just as abruptly as it started. But you can hear the sick sucking sounds. As that elf is temporarily dead. All right, so that is his turn, and he's going to move. Which way is he going to move? Let me look at his health.
Pretty much full.
He's going to move towards. Ooh. He's going to move towards Rory. There's an elf in the way first, however. And so that is his turn. It is Rory's turn. Rory finishes climbing down the tree, and once he finishes climbing down the tree, you know, as he's finishing climbing down, when he's about 10 feet off the ground or so, he looks around to see if the coast is clear, and he sees the soothsayer hovering about directly with his eye level up in the tree, and decides, yeah, it's not safe, and he finishes going down the tree, and he's taking off towards you, and that is the end of his turn. It is the top of the round, so I am going to go ahead and roll what happens. Oh, that's interesting. I was waiting for one of those two rolls to pop up, and they both popped up in the same round. All right, then. Here's what's happening this round. The elves who made it to the towers they're climbing up to the top of the towers. One makes it all the way to the top. The other one is still climbing a little bit. The dwarves who went off the screen are currently engaged in a fight over there, so you can't see what they're doing. However, I'm annotating everything. The the elves who were over here, who were still alive, they are able to back their positions up, and they see that they have a flying enemy, and that the ghoul swarm has been taken care of. They are currently trying to get positionings up into the trees as well, and so you're about to have two of both of your platforms are about to be used again here soon. That is them. In terms of the vampires, the vampire who is over here is going to join the fight, so I need to roll his initiative. This dwarf over here is been extinguished, and that's not what I was waiting for. I'm going to announce those here in a second. Oh, let me move him over here. There we go. And then might move him back. No, he didn't grow in size as he died. There we go. All right. Now, after all of that happened, and the soothsayer finished drinking the brain of the elf and is hovering it over, you can see from the north that there are reinforcements arriving. However, they are for the undead side. It's quite a few reinforcements, actually. It looks like it's more of a force than the original initial attacking force, and things look grim. I'll put them on here in a second. However, Erasmus, Fenris, and Summer Queen Valanestra, along with their Pegasus riders, wink into existence, seemingly right near the elf tower, almost identically at the same time. And you're able to see both of these sides appear on the battlefield at the same time. And that would actually be rather epic in like an actual movie. So let me go ahead. Well, I don't need to. I can finish up with the role playing. All right, so Erasmus and Fenris appear in the Pegasus and the Queen Valanestra, and they start walking down the hill. The soothsayer who just finished eating the elf and was chasing Rory sees all these new forces approaching, and he immediately starts hovering higher up into the air and gets a better view of the battlefield. The other soothsayer who was waiting around, he is able to turn himself into mist and flies himself up around and hovers. Definitely didn't make it high up into the air, but he hovers to the other side of the river and is starting to float, hover up as well. The undead forces who are approaching stop as they get to a point where they can see these two hovering up into the air, and the soothsayer, the initial one, he begins to speak, and even though you're far away, it sounds as if he's speaking directly into your mind, and he tells you. He says, "We have been looking for." Well, I don't. In a whisper. I'm not going to whisper it, but he says it in a whisper. I'm going to say it loud so this way it can be heard. But he says, "We have been looking for you, Asgrim. We have been paid in a handsome sum to destroy you, your town, and your friends. After scouting the battlefield, it seems that your friends are not here with you, and so your destruction shall come at a later date. Lenosius sends his regards." And as he says that, him and the other soothsayer lift their arms into the air, and all the dwarves, not the ghouls or any of the vampires that were killed, but as they lift their hands and rise up into the air, and they kind of start spinning in a little bit of a dance, as they do that, the elves and the dwarves who have been killed start to slowly rise to their feet. The ones who still have heads and are able to stand, by the way. The ones who don't have legs and things are not able to stand. But they too, on the ground, are coming to life and crawling to the source, which would be the soothsayers. And so as you see this happening, is there anything you want to do? Or do you want to see how this proceeds? Or what do you want to do?
Is it a magical force pulling them, or is it literally the corpses themselves being animated?
The corpses themselves have been reanimated and are slowly shambling to their reanimator, the one who animated them.
I got nothing I can do. I am gonna have to try something.
Depending on what you do is determine what I put on the map, or if we go to another map, or what happens.
So I most likely just have to interrupt one of them, seeing that they are trying to do something that seems like it's a combined spell. So I am the flying, so I can't use that one. I am gonna upcast whole person, making the DC No, I'm actually gonna upcast it so I can try and hold both of them. The DC is still 19. Fuck, they might be too far apart though. Okay. I found a way to do it, but it's kind of moronic.
All right.
I am gonna try and hold him, her, and him because they are 20, less than 30 feet apart.
Oh, so you're gonna chain the effect by using Reyna?
Yes.
Uh, Reyna's less than 30 feet from the other one?
Oh, that's 40. Fuck. Miscounted. Vampire. Right.
Oh, God.
Dwarf. No, elf. Elf. Yeah, I can do it that way.
Oh, my God. Okay, that's clever. Alrighty. Uh, Additional humanoid for each slot above second. Okay. So your initial humanoid, and then
Second, third,
your
fourth.
well, it's a second level enchantment.
Yeah, third, fourth, fifth. Fuck, I'm missing one. I can't cast higher than fifth level.
That was clever as hell, though. I kind of wish you could do it.
Let me roll a king to see if I can force it.
Wait, say again.
Let me roll an arcane to see if I can force it.
Okay.
Ah, 20. That's probably not gonna be enough.
Okay. Uh. All right. So what is your intent? What is the intention to hold? Oh. Wait. Aren't you concentrating on a spell currently?
No. The only one that needed concentration was the hallucinatory terrain, and
The dancing lights.
dancing light isn't concentration.
Yeah, concentration up to 1 minute.
Oh well, then I'm just gonna drop that one. Like,
Okay. All right then. All right. So yeah. So you drop your dancing lights and you are casting a hold person. All right. Let's see. What are
I am casting chain hold person.
chain helper, making your own spells. All right, the target must succeed on a wisdom saving throw or be paralyzed for the duration. At the end of each of its turns, the target can make another wisdom save. Okay. But I want you to know that if they don't succeed the save, they can choose to succeed the save.
I'm still trying.
Yeah.
I'm trying to save these.
I know. It just occurred to me that the one hasn't used any of those, and the other one has one left. Ah, God damn.
I'm just hoping that it interrupts the casting enough for them to prevent.
And then let's see the vampire. And they both did fail too, honestly. All right. Okay, I got it.
In the best movie manner, as I notice what they're doing, I'm reaching forth and going, no, and kind of like letting all the rage flow through into
Yeah.
the spell.
Yep. So you use a heroic action. To force the spell beyond its limits. In the process of doing that, I'm gonna need you to take away half your health. But as you do that, though, the the two soothsayers who are floating in the air and who are starting to draw up more and more increasingly these corpses, because they didn't all rise at the same time or anything like that. They were starting to rise in waves. However, after that first wave of corpses has risen, you're able to. It seems like you stopped any progression from them taking any more of the corpses from your side with them. And so as they see that your spell has temporarily stopped them from enacting their plans, and along with Erasmus, Fenris, and the Queen Valinestra, and their reinforcements, the soothsayers, uh, almost simultaneously, as if speaking through one mind, through one voice, simultaneously say to you, "You have temporarily set back our plans for today, but our plans include more than just today." And as he says that, the entirety of the forces go up in smoke and fog and mist, and some of them turn into bats and descend away real fast, as if to be yanked away by a large Bigby's hand, taking all their forces and pulling them back from the entirety of the battlefield, along with the corpses that they've got to rise again. However, the ones that you prevented from your heroic action, however, do get to stay there, and that most of the dead from your side are still there because they didn't get to enact their entire plan. So after some of the fires and some of the dead are collected, the ones who were not taken, and then a separate pile for the ghouls and things like that, and the vampires who weren't able to regenerate and get away. There are piles set, and everybody's looking around, looking for loved ones, and asking, if they've seen so and so, and things of that nature. Erasmus, they finished, walking down now that the undead forces are gone, and he looks around immediately, getting to work and mending some of the damages that have been done to some of the wooden structures. And Queen Valinestra, she goes and she tends to Captain Reyna for some reason specifically. But you take note of that. Diogi comes over to you, and he says that you've definitely seen better days, I imagine.
Well, most of my wound closed up in this time. Uh,
Okay.
so I am gonna put my hands on one elf and one dwarf, and I'm gonna try and see if I can revive them.
With what spell?
My health.
Oh. Okay. Roll a d20. Roll high.
No, I was just about to tip over on that fucking 18. No.
All right, so you touch the dwarf first, and trying to focus and channel all your health into him, and take away a quarter of your health for me, please. And as you channel your life force in, a quarter of your health into him, trying to focus intently on the act of him, his heart starting again, and boom, boom, start slowly beating and coming back to life. You channel your health force into him, and you find that unfortunately it does not work. However, you touch the elf and try to bring the elf back to life. Roll a d20, roll high, roll with advantage.
Better up.
Okay. Okay. So go ahead and take away half of what you have left. All right. And as you look dejectedly from your attempt to resurrect the dwarf, you then look upon the elf, and seeing the condition of this elf, you feel that due to her being your kindred, that you have a spark of inspiration. Call it the god speaking to you, call it whatever you like, but that intense focus and determination, you are able to channel more of your life force into this one. And unlike the dwarf, the elf, the heart starts beating, and her brain starts functioning again, and eventually the breath of life appears in her body. She starts coughing. What happened? What happened? She looks around and looks at you as you're still bent down, touching her body, and she grabs your hand desperately. Says, "Are you? Tell me what happened, sir."
You got knocked out.
I feel as though I wasn't meant to come back. I remember this gross, tentacly looking creature floating in tattered and torn robes above my head. And I just remember this sickly look in his face. And that's the last thing I remember. It was very cold.
He had psychic powers, and you got knocked out. I just woke you up. You were placed by the bodies by mistake.
Well, thank you, sir. Okay. I thank you so much, sir. I don't know how to repay you. If there's anything I can do for you when you're in our city, please look up Sentinel Reina, and she will find me. And anything you need, my house is your house. My food is your food. Anything you need, anything I can provide for you at all.
Just be kind.
Certainly. Certainly.
Open your door to someone in need.
I will make sure the next person who I meet who is in need of a warm bed or a shelter or food in their belly shall have it. Thank you again. And she kind of gets up, dusts herself off, picks up some of her belongings, her weapon that was laying by her as she was quite correctly 100% dead. So she goes and picks up her weapon, and she proceeds to gingerly walk limpidly up the hill towards the elves in the tower and a group of survivors up there. And Erasmus looks at you as after you did this with sort of a curious expression, and he says, Asgrim, I did not know that you had such powers about you to bring those who have been deceased back to life.
She wasn't dead. She was just knocked out. All I could do and did was heal her enough to bring her back to the waking world. And as I get up, I kind of stumble from the strain and kind of like put a hand on the building next to me and kind of like, no one saw that. I didn't just walk it off.
All right. Well, she must have been put in the wrong pile then, I suppose. Well, you did good still bringing her to. Your efforts here have not gone unnoticed. I assure you this probably would have ended differently if it was not for your attendance in this event. Seems like all the conflict and hostilities has ended just before I arrived with the enforcements, unfortunately. Do you know who they were?
I do not know who they were, but I do know who they work for.
I see.
And it is as I suspected. It is, they are servants of, fuck, I forgot his name again.
Lenosius.
Lenosius.
Well, if they're servants of Lenosius, and it's a large gathering of undead, there's a great chance that they came here from the Shadowfell. Undead in our territory, in our realm, are not known to have such coordination. From everything that's been gathered so far, what I understand from all of your reports and the reports of those in attendance at court, it would seem that they've came from Mordavia, correct?
They came from that direction, yes. But we also had forces up here from the north.
Did they say anything? Did they...
They spoke to me in my mind, yes. And they confirmed that they were sent here by Lenosius, and they were hunting for me and Fox, the doctor, and Jack.
Well, that is very concerning. But why did they leave when we arrived? Because they still had the numbers.
I do believe that they sensed the magical powers of our reinforcements, and since they didn't really have much that could deal with flying units, the Pegasus riders turned the tide of battle.
Well, then perhaps we still did some good yet. It seems like the structures are still sound relatively. I can stay here and mend any structures that have been damaged beyond just a little bit of scratches here and there.
I appreciate it. They also mentioned that they were not done.
Oh, they are heading to a different location? Do you know?
It sounded like they were planning to come back and destroy this place. to destroy me, my companions, and our city.
But but why would Lenosius care to destroy your upstart city?
I do not know. The only thing I can think of is that they found out some way that we found a way to kill the Rusel, and they're somehow connected.
Lenosius is the governor of Dalia Carnassus. I have no idea what he would want for your destruction, but
Because we gotta go to the Shadowfell to kill the Rusel. We,
ah,
we have.
yes, but those matters do seem connected. Hmm. Well, I don't believe in too many things adding up to all coincidences, so I think you're onto something there, Asgrim. The way to the Shadowfell has been opened by the killing of Jorminar Oxos, has it not?
I believe it has, but we are also planning to close that portal.
So instead of going to the Shadowfell, you intend to close the portal to the Shadowfell.
To the, it is kind of an issue because we need to go to the Shadowfell, but we also need to secure the safety of the denizens of this continent and this land.
Well, you are aware, as a scholar, I assume, in your readings at least, if not your own personal actual travels, that portals to the Shadowfell appear in places of shadow, obviously, but there are more than just one.
Yes,
However, the portal I believe that you are seeking in the lost city of Corvallis has been the longest running portal of all the ones that I know of, at least. That area has been closed off for centuries. It has been thought lost and just simply overrun. By Jorminar Oxos existing, his existence to destroy those in Mordavia actually helped save those in Mordavia, ironically.
I do know where there's another portal to Shadowfell.
What? Oh? He looks very curious at you at this point. Very invested in your conversation. Will you tell me?
Uh, Lov, I have no idea how to pronounce it, but that place.
Lovion?
Yeah. There's an ancient nephral ruin there that contains a portal.
You do know the continent that you're out of character. The continent that you're on is called Lovion, right?
Yeah, but you said you said this portal was to the north, according to my note.
All right, let me check here.
Because I found the dimension through the research. You said I found a portal to in the north that led to the Shadowfell, and it was in an ancient
Oh,
ruin.
yeah. Oh, yeah. You're mixing up your notes, but yep. Yeah, you're mixing up your notes, but yeah, you are essentially correct. But no, it's not to the north. It's on the other continent.
Okay.
It's by it's near your city, actually, on the opposite side, on the other side of the mountains there. I can actually show you. I can actually, if you look at the stream, I'll actually show you the map.
I'm looking.
All right, let me. Yeah, so right now, where you are located at currently, you are over here, in your area, over here. The portal, the city of Corvallis, the one that you guys found out about, is over here. Jormanar Oxos, the white dragon, he formed these glaciers here because of how old he was, being an ancient dragon. Those glaciers are gone now because Jormanar Oxos is killed. So that city of Corvallis is open. That's what allowed the undead to come through, however. The portal in to the Shadowfell that you're speaking of is theorized to be in the Nethril ruins on the other side of these mountains here. Your city is right here. Aberdeen. So it's just on the opposite side of the mountains there. There's the Nethril ruins, and there's been a book written that's theorized that a portal to the Shadowfell would indeed be located at the bottom of those ruins.
Okay.
I believe that's what you were talking about. If not, I
Yeah.
just did all that for nothing. I apologize.
No. I had to rewrite my some of my notes because my hard disk corrupted, so some of the things were corrupted.
It's no problem, man. I don't mind giving recaps and stuff like that.
Okay, bring up Discord again so I can't see the screen.
Oh. But so Erasmus tells you there indeed is a rumored portal to the Shadowfell in the ruins of the Nethralese city, by Aberdeen. However, that's quite a journey, and once you arrive there, it's going to be, as I understand, there's great many creatures who make their lair there, as it is quite extensive cavernous passageways down and then under through the city, and indeed connects to the Underdark in several areas. I've not been down there too far, but I've had cursory knowledge of the location. Is that where you intend to go, or do you intend to go to Corvallis? Corvallis is a little bit closer, but in terms of danger, I would say Corvallis is probably more dangerous.
I think we need to go close the portal at Corvallis to ensure the safety of everyone here.
Well, if you're intending to, how do you travel there?
So, as of right now, I intend to travel to Amil Alda to meet up with Jinx. Then we head down to secure some of the goblins down south, and I'm then heading over to try and see if I can reunite with the doctor, because I need the doctor to help me close the portal on this side in Corvallis.
That sounds like you're about to take a wealth of a journey here.
It's not the first time.
Well, the best scholars are the ones who get out and experience what they're teaching about, instead of learning from it from a stuffy manual in some library.
I have learned quite a bit. Which was also how I noticed that she wasn't dead. It wasn't much of movement, but I saw her eyes twitch.
So she was dead. You convinced me that she was just passed out.
I said I noticed she wasn't dead. I just saw her eye twitch.
Oh, excuse me. It wasn't dead. Okay. Because you succeeded the roll. So, he has no idea that you just resurrected her.
And if you haven't figured out, he's trying to make sure that no one knows he actually has abilities to heal with his own life force.
Yeah.
Why he's doing these motivational insults to make them think that it's just inspiration.
Your words have healed my body.
No, like, you got this! Come on, pull yourself together, man! Like the best Marine style. And kind of like, oh, they believe in me. I feel really invigorated.
Yeah, but you would notice the wounds and stuff on your body closing.
Oh, it's just the blood that made it look worse than it actually was. And due to the adrenaline, it looked worse and so on. You know. Heat of the moment.
All right. So, Erasmus says to you, your travels have taken you far, and you've learned much. But I can tell you that you still have yet to travel to all the places you will, and find out everything that you will. So, in the near future, you will be finding something most exciting and unexpected to add to your knowledge. I wish you good day, sir. And he turns around and he bends down and Fenris crawls up his arm and Fenris turns around on his shoulder and he says, yeah, good to see you alive and well, Asgrim.
Alive, yes. I look at my body like, as it is. Well, it's a different thing. But you both honor me by helping in this battle. Even if it just was showing up and scaring off the enemies. It saved many lives.
Well, no matter how your body's doing, at least you're not a rat. And then they walk through the the portal, that the doorway that just formed there, a two-dimensional door, and they walk through and the door just disappears.
As he says that, I kind of like do a half laughing, you know, some true.
Did you want to talk to the Summer Queen about anything? I think you had a few dealings with her.
No, was actually on the order, but I do want to thank her for showing up. Oh, well, I do have the necklace I need back.
Well, it was not much of a hassle when Erasmus comes asking for help and my people come helping. I shall aid them, and therefore aid you as well. It seems that every once in a while we have these run-ins together. You have not came back to fulfill your promise of mercantilism, though. I have not seen you come back with any goods yet. When do you plan on doing so?
I did send an associate, but you sent him back and said he was not welcome.
Well,
and took the necklace.
As you understand, as I said, your associate is not you. The honor was given to you to purchase the necklace.
I know, but since I did not have been a little busy and I wanted to stay true to my word, I made arrangement with a person I trusted and have dealings with. He's actually my partner. We've
that little goblin?
Yes.
How in the world do you associate yourself with such a creature?
He is a clever man that knows how to make a good deal,
how to see the value, the true value of an item, and has a nose for business. Far better than mine. So, to pass up the opportunity to finance his business and get to be a silence partner would be a dumb opportunity to pass up. I am.
Very true. I need to work on valuing all my companions. That's admittedly one of our downfalls as a society is perhaps we're a little bit too vain, like other races do say.
There's always room for growth. No one will ever be perfect. And once you learn that, you take a step in the right direction.
Well, what kind of dealings, what kind of merchandise and dealings would your associate have in the summer court?
As I remember, you said you were interested in artworks and also some general use items for farming. And I know he had a large surplus of farming supplies before we kind of needed them here.
I see. Well, it's true. We definitely would appreciate more artworks. We love fantastic works from different worlds. I myself am a collector of exquisite art.
On that note, we might have something that interested you here. You see those vernal pools out there?
Yes.
They contain clay of a fine quality. Your artisans might be interested in some.
Well, that was actually going to be the next thing I said was going to tell you we were interested in. So along with artworks comes pottery, furniture. We do have enough jewelry now, as our silver mine has been operational now for several weeks. However, if you come across any exquisite painters in your travels, I know it might be a weird request, but some of our buildings are in need of touch up, and if you could procure an exquisite painter for us, I will in turn make it worth your while. And she has she proceeds to tell you about an item that she has that when you paint a window or a doorway on a solid surface, it makes a window or a doorway in that surface.
Oh, that is indeed a very useful item.
Yes, I don't have any need for such things, but such things often come into my possession. If you find me an exquisite painter, upon completion, I will go ahead and ensure that this gets delivered to you. If I have to, I'll personally do it myself. That's how much this means to me. I can even have a place for you to check. Ronaldo in Silmaria is known to be one of the best painters in the world. He uses exquisite gems and diamonds in his paint to give much more reflective beauty.
So similar to the paintings I offered you.
Yes, similar. But entire buildings.
Sounds interesting.
Much
I will have to go see if I can figure something out. or if nothing else, just see some of his works. It sounds to be exquisite and would be a shame to pass the opportunity to see.
Being a queen such as I am, in my line of work, I don't get to travel too far, and especially into other worlds, as as I am 417 years old, and this is only probably my 8th time into the material world.
Well, if you ever come here again, you're always welcome to drop by.
Indeed. Well, make sure you send your associate, and she tells you that he can use the medallion to have safe travel to the Feywild. And she reminds you to use it. You have to use it in a forest, and it can't be a forest that's been desecrated. And she says he will be ensured safety, and he will not be kicked out unless he does what he did last time, or something similar.
I will tell him not to bring his brothers.
Oh, yeah. Well, his brothers are much more ill-mannered than he is, true. But no, he got very drunk on wine and proceeded to relieve himself in the bathhouse. It caused quite a commotion. But one does happen to do stupid things when they're drunk. However, being inebriated is not an excuse for such behaviors, amongst guests especially. Just see to it that he keeps his wild goblin ways under control.
I will do my very best.
And we shall trade with him in faith. Remember, Ronaldo and Samaria, and she goes over to continue tending to Captain Reyna. Did you want to speak to Reyna or Rory before I get out of here and go to work?
I can wait, but if you could just write down that name, those names.
Yeah, I'll send it. I'll send it to you. Awesome. You want what, the painter in Samaria, or the people you need to talk to yet, or which ones?
The painter.
Okay. Yep, I'll make you a write-up for it now. All right, everybody, thank you so much for watching, and we will go ahead and continue with, I think the next one's probably going to go ahead and be the Dahlia Carnassus session, so you don't get far ahead of them now. And so we're going to do that session Saturday, and then we'll have your sessions the following those. All right? So take care, everybody. I'll see everybody later. Hopefully you had fun. Have a good day.
Stay awesome, dudes and dudettes, and you too, man.